today is Ganga-puja. And so I'll just share a little bit. We have some, we've had some beautiful pastimes with our Gurudev at the Ganga. I want to tell that story. And first, just a little background in short. Ganga Devi, how she appeared. And it all began with the pastimes of Lord Vamanadev. And I'm not going to tell the whole elaborate story of Vamanadev because it's Ganga-puja, but Vamanadev created Ganga. And Vamanadev, Vishnu, Krishna, assuming the form, not as a dwarf. I don't know why they used that term. It had nothing to do with like dwarfism, the medical condition, but he was a beautiful, small boy, brahmachari Brahmin, well-proportioned, beautiful, effulgent boy, a small boy. And Vishnu assumed that form to approach Bali Maharaj, who was not a demon, but he was born in the Asura lineage, the same lineage as Prahlad Maharaj, and he was actually Prahlad Maharaj's grandson. But he was also, like Prahlad, a devotee. And he, Bali Maharaj, just happened to have too much power, just some universal order was disturbed by the amount of power he had. The gods were displaced, Indra was kicked out of his throne, the gods weren't doing their duty because Bali Maharaj was too powerful in controlling the three worlds. So, like the Lord does, he appears to properly set things right, adjust things, make sure everything, universal order is restored. And assuming this form, this wonderful, beautiful form of a boy, a small boy, Brahmin, brahmachari, that was something that Bali Maharaj could respond well to, not feeling threatened by this beautiful young boy coming. And sometimes we get the impression that Bali Maharaj was just like randomly giving everything away in charity, but he was not. He was doing the ashvamedha sacrifice, and within that sacrifice there's a period where charity is given to guests and Brahmins. So at that moment when he was giving charity, Vamanadev appears and asking for 3 steps of land only. And Bali Maharaj is like, what? I can give you so much more than 3 steps of land. And next to him was his guru, Bali Maharaj's guru, Sukracharya, who, again, it's not one-dimensional thing. He was not an outright demon, Sukracharya. He was counseling and guiding and like a strategist for the demon class. But he was an exalted, highly qualified sage and a Brahmin sage that was advising Bali Maharaj, but also like generally dealing with the Asura class. His sons were Prahlad Maharaj's teachers. So Sukracharya, as having some intelligence, could see this is not just a ordinary boy coming. This is Vishnu, and he's coming to trick you, Bali Maharaj. And he was next to Bali Maharaj saying, don't give him what he wants. Refuse him because you're going to lose everything. But Bali Maharaj, the devotee, is charmed by this beautiful form of Vamanadev, gives him what he wants, and Sukracharya is trying in so many ways to convince Bali Maharaj, don't do it. And there's some custom with the water pot when you fulfill someone's request in these sacrifices, you pour water from the water pot. So when Bali Maharaj was about to pour the water to officially fulfill the request of Vamanadev, Sukracharya, with his mystic powers, he could do many things, even bring dead people to life. He became really small and entered into the water pot of Bali Maharaj, and he tried to block the spout where the water was going to come out. And Bali Maharaj was trying to pour the water to fulfill the request of Vamanadev, and the water wasn't coming out, and Vamanadev realized what's going on, and he took a straw, kusha straw, and poked a hole into Bali Maharaj's eye. That's why you see sometimes in some paintings with Sukracharya there, and in some of these Bharatanatyam dances when they're reenacting these pastimes, he's often depicted with one eye. It's because Vamanadev poked his eye out by putting the straw in the water pot to clear it, so Bali could pour the water. But Bali Maharaj wasn't listening to Sukracharya and fulfilled his wish. And at that time, when Vamanadev's going to fulfill Vamanadev's going to take his 3 steps of land, he becomes Trivikram, big, gigantic, universal cosmic manifestation of the Lord, and with 1 step covers the earth. With his 2nd step, he covers the whole universe and its bordering areas, and with his toe he pierces a hole in the coverings of the universe, and water from the Karana Sagar, the causal ocean, where Vishnu is lying in that ocean, some water comes in from that hole and washes the feet of Vamanadev. And that becomes Ganga. At that moment, she is not named Ganga. Names like Vishnupada, Vishnupadi, Vishnupada, something like that. And she manifests. All rivers are female. So this is the divine feminine coming and enacting her pastimes. She stays some time in the celestial realm to Brahmaloka, and she has a lot of force. She's a very powerful river. And when she's in the Brahmaloka area, the upper planetary system, she's known as Mandakini. And later, this is the day, today on, like in the Panjika, the Vedic calendar, this is the day she descends to earth as Ganga. She becomes Ganga when she reaches the earth. But just to finish the story we'll go back to Ganga. Vamanadev covers everything in this universe with his second stride as Trivikram. And then Bali Maharaj sees there's nowhere left for his third step and offers his head. Full self-surrender. Surrenders to Vamanadev, is not resisting. He's losing everything, apparently. And fully surrenders happily and offers his head. And Vamanadev literally puts his foot on his head and blesses him with a place to go, takes away all his power, because he was just, like I mentioned, the universal order was, everything was out of order because of too much power, but he was given a place in Sutala. Is that what it's called? Sutala, one of the subterranean regions where Bali Maharaj is given by the Lord to live and to reign as king, and the Lord himself offers himself as a guard and a protector at the door of Bali Maharaj. Not as Vamanadev, but like a four-armed Vishnu form. So that pastime comes to a close, but Ganga is created first as Vishnu Padi, then Mandakini in the heavenly planets, and then some pastime takes place where the sons of King Sagar, they are involved in this ashvamedha sacrifice where Indra steals the horse, and they're like 60,000 sons of Sagar trying to find the horse, and they end up disturbing Kapila Muni, who was in his ashram meditating. They somehow offended him, accused him of stealing the horse, and then Kapila Dev burns them all to ashes. And they're living in this suspended, suffering state of ghost existence, all these sons. But none of the relatives remedied the situation. And then King Bhagirata in India, everyone worships him on this day because by his grace and his sacrifice and austerity, Ganga came to the earth. And he's trying to remedy that his ancestors are all suffering. All these sons of King Sagar were suffering. Some generations had passed, and now he wanted to save them all by bringing Ganga to the earth. So he gave his kingdom over to ministers and delegated all his kingly duties and went to meditate and going through proper channel. You'll see he's doing austerities to invoke the grace of Lord Brahma, where Ganga, Mandakini is living in Brahmaloka. He's trying to attract the grace of Brahma to help bring Ganga to the earth. And Brahma comes, gives his blessings, and he said, yes, but she will come with so much force, she will destroy the earth. So you need to please Lord Shiva, who's known as Gagadhar in our Navadip temple in Govinda Kunda. Our Gurudev installed Gagadhar Sada-Siva, Shiva who takes Ganga on his head, five-headed Shiva, Vaishnav, Bhakta, Shiv. There's Bhog, Tyag, and Bhakta, Shiv. And Gagadhar Sada-Siva is Vaishnav, Shiva. So King Bhagirata does more austerities and attracts the grace of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva agrees to help bring Ganga to the earth by taking her forceful descent on his head and then allowing her to gently flow to the earth. And she stays some time in celestial regions as Mandakini, stays on his matted locks for some time, like thousands of years, and then on this day flows to the earth and into the Himalayas. Ganga tree is the original place where she descends to the earth first. And then Bhagirata showed Ganga where to go. He, in his chariot, guided her where to flow. And it's said that all these ashes of his ancestors were at the Ganga Sagar location, where the Ganga meets the ocean, like in the area of southern West Bengal, Sundarbans. That area is where the Ganga meets the ocean, known as Ganga Sagar. So King Bhagirata is showing the way where the Ganga will flow, and then her waters as divine feminine are blessing the earth, purifying everything and bringing fertility and auspiciousness and purifying the sins of everyone and everything on the earth, blessing everybody wherever her waters would touch. So the waters flow over the ashes of all the relatives, the ancestors of King Bhagirata, and that's that pastime. So intertwined with Vamanadev. By Vamanadev's grace we got Ganga, also Bhagirata's grace we get her on this earth. And the story I really wanted to tell was with our Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj. On this day, he took us to the Ganga, and there's pictures on scsmot.com of this day where he decided to go, and wherever he would go, he'd allow anyone and everyone to come with him. So devotees were jumping on bicycles, running alongside his car, everyone jumping into his car, taking rickshaws to the place where he went on the banks of the Ganga in Navadip. And we all entered into her waters, and he was with the men on one side, and the ladies all went to the other side, and everyone was happily enjoying in her waters on this beautiful day. I forgot what year it was, maybe 2005 or something, but it will say on our website. But Gurudev had this armlet on his right arm, this gold armlet full of gemstones. And he would always say, 3 things are effective in Kali-yuga. Like 3 types of remedies and things that are effective in helping us in our service. Number 1, mahamantra. That was number 1. Mahamantra is effective in rescuing us, saving us, helping us. Number 1. And the others don't compare, but he said also homeopathy. He was really into homeopathy, and he cured so many of us with his remedies. And third, he had some experience with gemstones. And he would experiment with gemstones. And I remember once he he put on a red coral ring, and he just became enraged. It just brought so much anger into his system, in his mind. And he was like furious all the time, and like punching doors and kicking things and like raging. And he just was like, nope, I can't wear this. And he gave it to Yudhamanya Prabhu, Seva Vikram, Jivana Diri's husband. And he put on this ring, and same thing happened to him. This red coral, this fiery effect it had. And I remember once he put on Srila Sridhar Maharaj's diamond ring. And the effect it had on the environment was very interesting. All hidden things were becoming unhidden. They were like revealing all this things people were trying to hide and what was being concealed. It was all coming out into the open, and Gurudev was just watching. He was saying like, oh, this is bringing out everything, and he was experimenting. And of course, with him, everything, he's using these things for service, and also he was very theistic minded, that the Lord is providing these things and taking it as prasadam and the Lord's property, not taking anything for granted. So going back to the armlet, he had 3 or 4 gemstones on this armlet. And one of them was a yellow sapphire, an emerald, a ruby, and one more gemstone. And as he's in the water playing with the devotees, he noticed it fell off into the water. This heavy-duty armlet got lost in the waters of Ganga as he was bathing and swimming. And he noticed after some time had passed, it was gone, and everyone started diving into the water and trying to find it. And if you've ever been in the Ganga, you'll know that it's not just the bottom part of Ganga is not just solid, grounded. There's layers and layers of sediment, and devotees were trying to scour the river bottom, and some time passed, 20, 30 minutes of searching, plus the current. Devotees were trying to follow the current to find it. And then we saw this sometimes in Gurudev. Some mood appeared in his mind, kind of like Baladev, chastising Jamuna, like, come here, with his plow. Gurudev shouted at Ganga, give it back. Like, that's Mahaprabhu's property. That armlet, it's not just anything. It's, wealth of Mahaprabhu. Very expensive piece of jewelry I'm using for my service. It belongs to Mahaprabhu, so give it back. In Chastising Ganga. And miraculously enough, he felt something on his foot and reached down to see what was on his foot, and it was his armlet. And everyone was like celebrating and happy and diving into the water. And with us on the ladies' side, there was one of our very senior Vaishnavis, older devotee. She was smiling and went into the water and was diving and jumping up into out of the water, and we noticed when she came out of the water, she was missing her teeth. She was smiling, and we noticed, like, wait a minute. She lost her, like, dentures, her false teeth, in the water. So we were joking. We were like, give it back! Imitating Gurudev. Give it back, Gaṅgā. It's not yours. But she never gave them back. And this devotee lady, she had such a nice mood the whole time, like, okay, this is the divine will of Ganga Devi and the Lord. She had to spend the rest, she was visiting from Europe, she had to spend the rest of her visit in Navadvip without her teeth. So this, just some pastimes we experienced with Gurudev in Navadvip Dham at the Ganga. And Gurudev, ever thoughtful and theistic, returned back to the mat and thought, maybe this is like ostentatious, too much heavy of like valuable thing I'm wearing. So he took only one of the stones, I think it was the yellow sapphire, and he tied it on a red string and tied it to his arm and put everything else away, kept it safely in his room. And from that day on, he was just wearing this one gemstone. So we had this experience with our Gurudev, one of the many pastimes we shared with him on this very auspicious day. I remember once bathing in the Ganga with one of my dear sisters and friends, Sita Devi Dasi. The two of us just on the banks of the Ganga, and we had our gamshas on the side of the river, and this whole herd of water buffalo came to where we were swimming, and we were like surrounded by water buffaloes. And my friend Sita, she's very adventurous. She was trying to play with them, but they were very polite. They were very shy, and they all got a little scared of her. And they came out. They came out of the Ganga and started, like, they wouldn't even step on our gamshas. They came out and they tiptoed around our gamshas and then like found a path to go into another spot to swim in the river. So, Jai Ganga Devi, she's also known as Jahnavi, having to do with flooding one Rishi Muni's ashram, Janu, and he inhaled her when she flooded his ashram. He inhaled her and then released her. And then she became known as Jahnavi. So very auspicious day, big celebrations in India, and you see how we are doing all our puja with Ganga water. We wouldn't be able to serve without her grace. She's purifying us all and giving us service opportunity. She was so dear to Mahaprabhu and central in his pastimes in Navadvip, especially as a youth, growing up every day, going to play and swim in the Ganga. And sometimes being very naughty in the Ganga. Those pastimes you can read about, especially in Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So we honor this day and we bow down to Ganga Devi and Vamanadev, whose mercy and blessings took her by his divine will, allowed her to manifest. And we pray for her purifying grace.